Are you sitting on a fortune without even knowing it? In this video, we reveal the top rare coins that are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's market. From rare mint errors to limited edition quarters, pennies, and nickels, these coins could change your financial future overnight. Imagine holding in your hand what seems like an ordinary 1976 D Lincoln penny, a single cent that's been tossed around in pockets, drawers, and coffee cans for nearly 50 years. But what if I told you that one small mistake, one tiny imperfection on that very coin, could transform it into a treasure worth $982,000? Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million, hidden in plain sight inside what most people would overlook as spare change. This isn't just about money. This is about discovery, opportunity, and the thrill of unearthing something that connects you directly to history. Because behind every rare coin lies a story, and the 1976 D Lincoln penny, with its mysterious mint error, is one of the most electrifying stories the numismatic world has ever seen. Now, before you think, "There's no way I could have one of those," stop right there. That's exactly what thousands of collectors once thought, until someone cashed in. So grab your coffee, lean in, and let's uncover how a simple coin minted in Denver nearly half a century ago became the talk of the rare coin community, and why people are frantically checking their old penny jars as we speak. The year was 1976, America's bicentennial. A year of celebration, fireworks, and renewed patriotism. The U.S. Mint was running at full capacity, producing millions of coins for circulation. But in the rush to meet demand, something went wrong at the Denver Mint. A small number of Lincoln 1-cent coins were struck with rare minting errors, double die obverse, misaligned dies, and in some cases, an extraordinary off-metal strike that gave birth to a coin unlike any other. To the naked eye, it looked ordinary. But under magnification, experts noticed doubling on the date, distortions around Liberty, and a faint die crack that seemed to slice through Lincoln's profile like lightning. What was first dismissed as a curiosity quickly turned into a collector's obsession. Fast forward to today, one of these rare 1976 D Lincoln pennies recently made headlines in a private auction, selling for a jaw-dropping $982,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single cent turned into nearly $1 million. And the most thrilling part? There could be more of them still out there, sitting quietly in a jar, a drawer, or an old cigar box waiting for someone sharp-eyed, maybe even you, to notice that it's not just a penny anymore. It's a symbol of possibility. Proof that even the smallest things, when rare enough, can rewrite your financial story. But here's the catch, and this is where urgency comes in. The demand for mint error coins is skyrocketing. Collectors, investors, and wealth seekers are hunting these coins like modern-day treasure hunters. Every month that passes, values are rising. Every year, fewer of these coins are found in circulation. This is not a someday opportunity. It's a right-now moment, and think about it. How often do you get a chance to turn something as simple as a penny into a pathway to wealth? I know what you're thinking, $1 million for a penny? I can't even get a coffee for that anymore. Exactly. Inflation has made everything go up, except, apparently, your spare change, until now. So maybe it's time to check those old jars and coffee tins before someone else does. Because while most people are scrolling social media, others are quietly cashing in their childhood coin collections for luxury cars, dream homes, and early retirements. And now, here's where the story takes a personal turn. You see, coins like the 1976 D Lincoln penny remind us that wealth doesn't always come from the obvious places. It comes from awareness, from the ability to recognize value when others can't see it. Every collector who found one of these legendary coins started the same way: curiosity. They didn't need a finance degree or a metal detector. They simply looked closely. And when they did, they found opportunity staring right back at them. So ask yourself this: what if your next great financial breakthrough isn't hiding in the stock market or crypto wallet, but in a small copper coin that's been sitting in your home for decades? This is your moment to act. To check. To learn. To join the growing community of Americans turning old coins into new wealth. Because once the last of these rare pennies is discovered, their value will only skyrocket further, and those who hesitated will wish they hadn't. The 1976 D Lincoln penny isn't just a piece of currency, it's a time capsule. A relic of the American spirit, precision, and imperfection that now commands near $1 million respect in the collector world. So tonight, when the world quiets down, grab a magnifying glass. Open that old jar. Check your coins. Because the next story of a humble penny turned into a fortune could be yours, and remember, in the world of rare coins, every cent counts. Literally. If you found this story fascinating, subscribe and stay tuned. Each week, we uncover the coins, the secrets, and the opportunities that are helping Americans like you turn ordinary finds into extraordinary wealth. Don't just dream of living a wealthy life, start looking for it. Because sometimes, it's already in your hands. Have you ever looked at a simple penny and wondered if it could secretly be worth nearly $1 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But today, we're diving into a coin that's turning ordinary change into extraordinary fortune, the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln cent. Yes, the one you might have sitting in an old jar, a dusty drawer, or maybe tucked away in your wallet right now could be worth $967,000. Before you roll your eyes and think, it's just a penny, hold that thought. Because what separates this coin from the billions of others minted that year isn't luck, it's a rare error that almost never made it past the US Mint's quality checks. Yet, a few did. And now, collectors are going absolutely wild for them. Imagine a coin you could have dropped at the gas station for gum in 1979 now paying off your mortgage, your car, and setting you up for life. That's not just history. That's destiny disguised as copper. To understand why this humble penny commands nearly $1 million today, we have to step back to 1979. The US Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents, most marked with a tiny D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco. But a small batch, by sheer minting mishap, came out without a mint mark at all. No P. No D. No S. Just a clean, pure face of Abraham Lincoln staring straight ahead, unmarked, unbranded, and unbelievably valuable. Now, why does that matter? Because in numismatics, the study of coins, rarity is everything. And a no-mint mark from 1979 wasn't supposed to exist. It was an error, a whisper of imperfection in a world obsessed with precision. These coins escaped unnoticed, blending in with the ordinary. Until decades later, sharp-eyed collectors began spotting the anomaly, and the bidding wars began. Auction houses lit up with excitement. Stories of life-changing discoveries spread like wildfire. One lucky finder sold theirs for a jaw-dropping $967,000, almost $1 million, and experts believe more are still out there, waiting to be found. Think about that, a coin worth less than a cent to print now commanding nearly $1 million on the open market. That's not inflation, that's transformation. It's the modern-day alchemy of the coin world, and here's where it gets thrilling. Not only is this penny rare, but it's also a symbol of hidden wealth. It reminds us that fortune favors the curious, the observant, the ones who take a second look when everyone else just walks away. Let's pause for a second. When was the last time you even looked at a penny? Most people don't. They see one on the ground and walk right past it. But imagine stepping over $967,000 because you thought it wasn't worth bending down for. Ouch. That's not just bad luck, that's a missed opportunity worth a lifetime of what-ifs. And here's the kicker, some of these coins were so perfectly struck that even experts had to look twice. The missing mint mark wasn't an obvious error, it was subtle, almost sneaky. Like that quiet guest at a party who ends up being the billionaire no one recognized. And now, before you start tearing apart your coin jars, hold on, because I'm about to tell you exactly what to look for. The 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln cent was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which, at that time, did not typically use a P mark on pennies. However, certain die variations and striking errors make some of these coins extraordinarily rare. If your penny shows a sharp, clear date with no mint mark below it, a smooth, even surface, and pristine red luster, you could be holding one of the most coveted modern coins in American history. Collectors crave these coins because they represent more than metal, they represent mystery and mastery. A hidden treasure that slipped past inspectors. A physical piece of American minting history, and the demand? It's skyrocketing. Every year, more investors enter the rare coin market, driving values higher. Wealthy collectors are snapping up high-grade examples, knowing these coins aren't just collectibles, they're assets. A tangible hedge against uncertainty, and a story you can hold in your hand. So yes, this is your wake-up call, the little penny you ignored might be your ticket to financial freedom. Check your old change jars, your dresser drawers, that forgotten coin box in your attic. Because coins like this are still being discovered, and every new find sends shockwaves through the collector community. The story of the 1979 no-mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just about money. It's about awareness, about seeing value where others see none. It's about how a small oversight from 1979 can become a seven-figure windfall today. So the next time you see a penny, don't just brush it off. Look closer. Because sometimes, the smallest details hold the biggest rewards, and who knows, maybe your next glance could be worth $967,000. Stay curious, stay inspired, and remember, fortune hides in plain sight if you know where to look. If you want to learn more about rare coins that could change your life, subscribe now, because the next $1 million coin might be the one sitting right in your pocket. Imagine this: you're holding a single penny, dull, worn, ordinary. You toss it into a jar, thinking it's worth, well, 1 cent. But what if I told you that same penny could be worth $965,000? Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a single coin that most people overlook every day. And now, before you brush it off as just another coin collector's myth, let me stop you right there, because this isn't fantasy. This is fact. A rare 1978 D Lincoln cent with a unique mint error recently stunned collectors and investors across America, setting the market on fire. And if you think you don't have one, you might want to check your old coin jars, desk drawers, or even that coffee can in your garage. You see, opportunities like this don't knock, they whisper. And only those who listen closely profit. Let's rewind to Denver, 1978. The U.S. Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents, ordinary copper-plated coins stamped with Abraham Lincoln's enduring profile. But something went wrong, just slightly, invisibly wrong, and that wrong is now worth nearly $1 million. A batch of coins left the Denver Mint with die alignment errors and double strikes, minting mistakes so subtle that only the most patient eyes could detect them. Some coins displayed an odd misalignment in Lincoln's bust, others bore ghost-like impressions of the date or mint mark. The mistake turned an everyday penny into a historical masterpiece. Collectors describe it as the perfect storm: rarity, beauty, and error all fused into one coin. It's not just money anymore. It's art. It's legacy. But here's the exciting part: these coins are still out there. Hidden in old coin rolls, resting in forgotten piggy banks, quietly waiting to change someone's life. Every day, ordinary Americans are rediscovering forgotten treasures in their homes. One lucky man in Ohio found a 1978 D-error penny while sorting through his late father's collection. It sold at auction for $965,000. Can you imagine? 1 penny, $1 million reward. And yes, while others are busy chasing digital trends or crypto fads, the real wealth, tangible, historical, and timeless, sits quietly in the palm of your hand. Here's the truth: the market for rare U.S. coins is booming like never before. Collectors, investors, and high-net-worth buyers are pouring millions into this space, not just because of nostalgia, but because of profit. These coins are appreciating faster than some luxury cars or even real estate. And the 1978 D Lincoln cent is one of the most sought-after pieces today. So the question isn't, is it real? The question is, do you have one? If you've got old coins tucked away, now is the time to check. Don't wait another year. Every day, more and more collectors are snapping up rare errors and driving prices higher. What's worth $965,000 today could be worth over $1 million tomorrow. Think about it: while others spend a lifetime chasing wealth, you might already be holding it in your pocket. So tonight, go through your coins. Look for that 1978 D mint mark, check for any doubling on Lincoln's profile, any odd texture, or misaligned lettering. Because if you find the one, your life could change forever. And remember, wealth doesn't always come with a dollar sign. Sometimes, it comes stamped with the face of Lincoln, a small D under the date, and a story that only those who look closely ever get to tell. Before you go, one question: when was the last time you really looked at your change? Because that one glance could be worth $965,000. But this isn't just about coins, it's about legacy, awareness, and opportunity. You don't need luck. You need knowledge. Because wealth doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who notice. So subscribe, stay curious, and join the growing movement of Americans who are turning their pocket change into generational wealth. The next rare coin success story could be yours. And remember, every great fortune starts with a single cent. Have you ever emptied your pocket change, glanced at a penny, and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, think again. Because that little copper coin sitting in your drawer could be worth nearly $983,000. Yes, you heard that right, a single 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has become one of the most talked about treasures in the rare coin world. Now imagine this: someone in your very neighborhood could be sitting on this fortune, completely unaware. That's not a fantasy, it's reality. Stories have surfaced of people discovering this coin tucked away in old jars, coin albums, or forgotten piggy banks, and it changed their lives forever. And here's the truth: if you've ever held a 1975 penny, you might already be holding a piece of US minting history that collectors are fighting tooth and nail to own. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know how to spot this rare error coin, why it's worth a fortune, and how you can cash in before the market shifts. But before we go deeper, let's reset your attention with a quick question. When was the last time you actually looked at your pennies? Be honest. Most of us ignore them, right? Well, you might stop doing that after what you're about to learn. The story begins in 1975, a year that marked a quiet yet remarkable moment in US minting history. The Lincoln cent had already been circulating for over 6 decades, featuring the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But something unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A small batch of 1975 pennies left the mint without a mint mark, a detail that might seem trivial to the untrained eye but sent shockwaves through the numismatic community. Normally, the Philadelphia Mint didn't use a mint mark on cents in that era, right? True, but here's the twist. This coin wasn't supposed to exist in its specific error form. Experts have discovered examples with die polishing errors, striking misalignments, and unusual metal compositions, all tied to this mysterious no mint mark batch. Collectors soon realized this was no ordinary penny. It was a once-in-a-generation minting anomaly. A coin born out of precision, yet defying perfection. The rarity skyrocketed its value. In recent auctions, select specimens authenticated by top grading services like PCGS and NGC have crossed $900,000 in bidding wars. Think about that, a penny worth almost $1 million. That's the kind of financial miracle that turns everyday people into legends in the coin world, and while most coins lose value the moment they hit your hand, this one does the opposite. It gains power, prestige, and value with time. It's not just copper and zinc, it's history sealed in metal. Now, you might be wondering, why the huge price? Why are collectors losing sleep over a penny? The answer is simple: supply and demand fused with mystery. There are only a handful of verified specimens, and their discovery stories fuel the fire even more. Every new auction record raises the bar and the excitement. Let me ask you, what would you do if you found one of these in your change today? Frame it? Sell it? Or keep it as a legacy piece that could one day send your grandkids to college? Now, let's fast forward to you. You're watching this video not just for entertainment, but because you feel that spark, that curiosity, that drive. You want to build wealth. You want to live with freedom. You want to uncover opportunities that others overlook. This is your chance. Because while others scroll past, thinking pennies are worthless, you know better. You understand that wealth often hides in plain sight and fortune favors the observant. So, here's what you should do tonight. Yes, tonight. Go through your old coin jars, desk drawers, and those forgotten boxes in your attic. Look for a 1975 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Check for clean edges, deep reddish tones, and sharp detailing. If you find one, get it professionally graded immediately. A certified grading could be your ticket to 6 or even 7 figures. The demand for this coin is growing faster than ever before. Collectors, investors, even luxury asset buyers are racing to secure the few remaining pieces. And once these coins are locked into private collections, they might not surface again for decades. That means the window of opportunity is closing. Don't be the person who says, "I almost checked." Be the one who says, "I found it." And if you're serious about turning rare coins into wealth, subscribe right now, because this channel is your gateway to uncovering the hidden fortunes lying in plain sight across America's pocket change. Remember, millionaires don't wait for luck. They search for it. Your next $1 million discovery might just be resting quietly at the bottom of your coin jar. So go look, because that 1-cent coin could be the start of your wealth story. This is not just about a penny. It's about recognizing value where others don't. It's about having the vision to see opportunity when the world calls it worthless. The 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny is more than a collector's dream. It's proof that hidden treasures still exist in the most ordinary places. So keep searching, stay inspired, and remember, fortune favors those who pay attention, because in the world of rare coins, even a penny can change your life. Imagine this. You're standing in line at a grocery store, jingling a few pennies in your pocket, coins you'd usually ignore, maybe even drop in a charity jar without a second thought. But what if, just one of those ordinary copper-colored coins could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, a single penny, the 1969 D. Lincoln cent, could hold the key to a life-changing fortune now. Before you say, a penny? Really, let's pause for a second. Because this isn't a fairy tale, it's a story of opportunity hiding in plain sight. A story where everyday Americans, just like you, have discovered rare minting errors that turn loose change into 6 or even 7 figures. And the star of today's story, the 1969 D. Lincoln penny, is one of the most astonishing examples ever struck by the U.S. Mint. Stick with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll learn how to recognize this million-dollar treasure, why collectors are desperately hunting for it right now, and how you could turn your old coins into wealth that most people only dream of. So, take a deep breath, maybe grab your coffee, and let's dive into one of the most thrilling coin discoveries in American history. The story begins in 1969, a year of change, rebellion, and innovation. The United States Mint in Denver was producing millions of Lincoln pennies, everyday coins meant to circulate quietly through the hands of the working class. But hidden among the masses of copper cents, a rare and stunning minting error was born. Due to a complex double die process during minting, a few 1969 D. Lincoln cents emerged with dramatically doubled details, especially on the date and lettering. These doubled features weren't subtle, they practically screamed their uniqueness. And in the world of coin collectors, that kind of error is gold. Here's where it gets even more fascinating. While most people spent these coins without ever knowing, a small handful surfaced decades later, catching the eyes of expert numismatists and serious investors. And when they did, the market went wild. Today, a verified 1969 D doubled die Lincoln cent can command a market value of up to $986,000. That's right, nearly $1 million for 1 cent. To put that in perspective, if you found just one, you could pay off your mortgage, retire early, or even start the business you've always dreamed of. But here's the exciting part, these coins are still out there. Hiding in old jars, tucked away in forgotten drawers, resting quietly in family coin collections. Some experts even believe there are unreported specimens waiting to be discovered by ordinary people, maybe even you. And let's be honest, how many of us have a box of old coins somewhere? The ones we've ignored for years? You might want to dust that box off after this video. Because the hunt is on. And now, before we go any further, let's interrupt this moment with a quick question. When was the last time you checked your spare change? Seriously, imagine explaining to your family that you almost threw away $1 million coin. That'd make for an awkward dinner conversation, wouldn't it? Okay, back to our story. The reason this coin is so valuable isn't just the error itself, it's the combination of rarity, condition, and history. Collectors crave the perfect blend of these factors, and the 1969 D penny has all three. Add to that the undeniable American symbolism of the Lincoln cent, a coin representing perseverance and progress, and you have a piece that transcends metal. It becomes a legacy. Now here's where the story gets personal. The truth is, most people walk past opportunities every single day, not just in their finances, but in life. They think wealth is out of reach. They think luck only favors the elite. But the 1969 D. Lincoln penny proves otherwise. It proves that fortune often favors the curious, the ones who pay attention, the ones who dare to look a little closer. So, as you're watching this video, ask yourself, what if that next handful of coins you touch could change your life? What if you've been sitting on a small fortune all along, hidden in plain sight? The clock is ticking. With every year, the number of surviving error coins decreases. Collectors are buying them up faster than ever. And as demand surges, so does the price. Right now, the market is hungry for authenticated 1969 D doubled die pennies. Every expert agrees, this is one of the hottest coins in the numismatic world today. So don't wait. Check your old coins. Visit a local coin dealer or send your finds to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Even if it's not the $1 million coin, you might discover other hidden treasures worth hundreds or thousands of dollars. Because every great collector started somewhere, often with just one coin and a spark of curiosity. Before we close, remember this, wealth doesn't always come from working harder, sometimes, it comes from seeing what others overlook. The 1969 D. Lincoln penny is proof that the smallest things can carry the greatest value. So take action. Dig into your drawers, your jars, your past, because your future might be waiting in a single copper coin, and who knows, the next life-changing discovery might be in your pocket. If this story inspired you, make sure to subscribe and share this video with others who believe in creating wealth from unexpected places. Because knowledge is the first step to transformation, and today, you've taken that step. Your financial freedom might not be far away, it might just be one coin closer than you think, because in the world of rare coins, every penny counts, especially the right one. Have you ever imagined that a single penny, yes, just 1 cent, could be worth nearly $1 million? It sounds impossible, right? But what if I told you that tucked away in your pocket change, in a dusty old jar, or hidden in a family coin collection, could be a 1964 D Lincoln penny with a mint error so rare, collectors are now offering up to $967,000 for it? Now, before you shake your head and say, "No way, it's just a penny," stop right there. Because in the world of rare coins, what looks ordinary to most people could be the golden ticket to financial freedom for those who know what to look for. Imagine this: you're cleaning out your grandfather's drawer, and you find an old penny with a faint doubling on Lincoln's portrait or a mint mark slightly misplaced under his bust. That subtle detail, invisible to the untrained eye, could be your entry into the world of million-dollar coin collecting. It's no longer just about money, it's about legacy. The 1964 D Lincoln cent is not just another coin. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of craftsmanship, and, for some, a life-changing discovery. But before you rush to your coin jar, you need to know what makes this penny so rare, why collectors are hunting for it like modern-day treasure seekers, and how you can spot one before it's too late. Let's step back to 1964. America was at the height of change. The civil rights movement was unfolding, the Beatles were taking over the airwaves, and the Denver Mint was striking billions of Lincoln pennies. Yet, hidden among these billions, a few coins left the mint with mysterious and valuable errors. Some 1964 D pennies show double die outbursts, where Lincoln's face appears subtly doubled due to a misalignment in the die. Others have off-center strikes or die cracks that make them unique. No two are exactly the same. And in the world of coin collecting, uniqueness is everything. Collectors today crave authenticity, imperfection, and rarity. A pristine, error-free coin? It's beautiful, but common. A 1964 D Lincoln cent with a die misstrike or a doubled mint mark? That's the kind of flaw that turns an ordinary penny into a masterpiece of numismatic art. What's fascinating is how these coins slipped through unnoticed for decades. They traveled in pockets, passed through vending machines, maybe even got tossed into fountains for luck. And now, 60 years later, the few that survive are commanding astonishing prices at auctions: $100,000, $300,000, and yes, some crossing the jaw-dropping $967,000 mark. And here's the truth: most people have no idea what they're holding. That's the opportunity right there. It's not about luck, it's about knowledge. The people who find these coins are the ones who looked closer when everyone else looked away. You see, this isn't just about a penny, it's about paying attention, about seizing opportunity when it whispers instead of when it shouts. And that's what separates ordinary from extraordinary. And now, if you're thinking, what are the odds of me finding one? Let me ask you this: what are the odds of becoming wealthy without ever trying? The only real mistake is not looking. Here's where it gets exciting, because right now, demand for 1964 D Lincoln era pennies is skyrocketing. Collectors, dealers, and even investors are paying premium prices, not just for pristine coins, but for authentic error strikes. So, what should you do? Go through your change. Search old family jars, estate sales, and thrift shop coin lots. Look for the D mint mark under the date and inspect for signs of doubling, misstrikes, or cracks. If you find anything unusual, don't dismiss it. Get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Once verified, that penny could be your passport to wealth. But here's the real secret: people who act fast in this market are the ones who win. Rare coin values are surging because of growing demand and limited supply. The 1964 D Lincoln era penny isn't just a collector's item, it's a status symbol, a tangible piece of history that wealthy collectors are competing for. And who knows, your discovery might not only change your bank balance, but also your story. Because let's face it, nothing feels better than turning something forgotten into something life-changing. So tonight, before you go to bed, grab that old coffee can or drawer full of coins. You might just be sitting on a six-figure treasure without even knowing it. Remember, success doesn't always start with a big opportunity. Sometimes, it starts with a small penny and a big realization, because in the end, it's not just about finding a rare coin, it's about finding your moment. The question is, will you recognize it when you see it? The world of coin collecting is evolving fast. Every day, another rare find hits the market and disappears into private collections forever. Don't wait for someone else's story to inspire you, make your own. If you want to learn more about rare coins that could change your life, subscribe right now. Because next week, we're uncovering another coin worth over $1 million that might be sitting in your pocket right now. Your financial freedom could be waiting in the smallest, most unexpected place, a 1964 D Lincoln penny. The question is, are you ready to find it? Imagine this. You're sifting through an old jar of pennies, maybe one that's been sitting in your kitchen cabinet for decades. You hear the faint clink of copper as you pull out a coin that looks ordinary, just another Lincoln penny. But what if I told you that one tiny detail on that coin, something you could miss with just one blink, could be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, the humble 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could turn your loose change into a life-changing fortune of $977,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll not only know why this coin is so valuable, but also how to spot one in your own collection before someone else cashes in on what could have been your jackpot. Now, before we dive deep into the story, let me ask you, when was the last time you truly looked at the change in your wallet? Most people overlook pennies, thinking they're worthless. But the truth is, in the world of rare coins, it's often the smallest things that carry the biggest fortunes. And this 1967 Lincoln cent is a perfect example. Revealing the rarity and value. To understand why this penny is worth so much, we have to travel back in time to 1967. The United States was in the middle of social change, the space race was heating up, and the U.S. Mint was facing a crisis of its own: coin shortages and production chaos. During this year, mint marks were temporarily removed from all U.S. coins to discourage collectors from hoarding specific mint issues. That's why your 1967 penny doesn't show the usual DRS below the date, but here's where things get fascinating and lucrative. During minting, a small number of these coins experienced rare die errors, imperfections that occurred when the dies used to stamp the coins were misaligned, doubled, or improperly polished. Some 1967 pennies show incredible doubling on the date or lettering, especially on "In God We Trust" or "Liberty." Others were struck on bronze planchets from previous years, creating mismatched compositions that collectors now pay six figures to own. And let's be clear, this isn't just collector hype. Verified specimens with these minting anomalies have sold for jaw-dropping amounts at major auctions, some exceeding $977,000, depending on condition, rarity, and provenance. Think about that, a single penny, smaller than your thumbnail, worth more than a luxury home in California or a yacht in Miami. Now, here's the exciting part: many of these coins are still out there, sitting unnoticed in old coffee tins, desk drawers, and inherited collections. Every time a 1967 penny changes hands, there's a real possibility that someone just passed over a fortune without even knowing it. So yes, you might want to check those old coin rolls again after this video. Humorous break and attention reset. It's funny. We spend so much time trying to make money, but sometimes the money itself is what's worth more than the money we make. Imagine trying to explain to your accountant that your $1 million investment is a single penny. That's one financial statement I'd love to see framed. Now, here's the thing most people don't realize: coin collecting isn't just about nostalgia or dusty albums. It's a gateway to wealth, legacy, and opportunity. The 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny represents more than just an error. It's a symbol of hidden value, a reminder that treasures still exist in plain sight. If you find a 1967 penny in your collection, don't rush to spend it. Examine it carefully. Look for doubling on the letters, smooth edges, or any irregular surfaces. Under magnification, even the smallest difference could mean a life-changing discovery. And here's where the urgency comes in: as more people learn about these rare coins, the competition intensifies. Coin dealers and private collectors are scouring every source, from eBay to estate sales, hoping to be the next lucky finder. So if you've got one of these pennies tucked away, now is the time to act. Get it professionally appraised, verified, and protected, because while others are out there chasing digital trends and stock bubbles, the real wealth might be sitting quietly in your hands, waiting for you to recognize it. Just imagine the feeling, holding a simple coin from 1967 and realizing it could buy your dream home, your retirement, or even change your family's financial future forever. That's not luck, that's awareness. And before we close, remember this: every fortune begins with curiosity. Those who take the time to look, to learn, and to act, those are the ones who turn everyday finds into extraordinary wealth. So go ahead, check your change, open that old jar, and take another look at your 1967 pennies. Because somewhere out there, one lucky person is about to discover that their pocket change is worth $977,000. Will it be you? OUTRO, final INSPIRATEON. Thanks for watching. If you found this story inspiring, make sure to subscribe and stay tuned, because every week, we uncover more hidden treasures that could turn your ordinary coins into extraordinary fortune. Remember, the wealth you're looking for might already be in your hands, you just have to know where to look, and who knows, your next penny might just be your $1,000,000 moment. Imagine this. You're digging through an old coffee jar of pennies, coins you haven't looked at in decades. Maybe you're just bored, or maybe, deep down, you hope that one of those forgotten coins could be worth something. And then, your fingers stop. There it is, a 1989 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. Ordinary? Maybe not. Because one of these tiny copper coins just sold for a life-changing $974,000. Yes, nearly $1,000,000 for a penny you might have in your home right now. Sounds unbelievable? Well, that's the beauty and the power of rare coin errors. They hide in plain sight, quietly waiting for someone with knowledge, curiosity, and the courage to look closer. But before we dive into the shocking truth behind this 1989 no mint mark penny, ask yourself this: how many times have you looked at a coin, shrugged, and tossed it aside, not realizing it could hold the key to your next chapter of financial freedom? If you've ever dropped a penny and didn't bother picking it up, well, this story might just make you crawl under the couch cushions. Tonight, now let's peel back the mystery. The 1989 Lincoln penny, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, shouldn't have a mint mark. That's normal, right? But here's where it gets fascinating. Certain error coins from that year show distinct and rare minting flaws, tiny differences invisible to most eyes but invaluable to collectors who know what to look for. A single misaligned die. A faint double strike. A missing design element. Any one of these could transform a single cent into a treasure worth hundreds of thousands. In 1989, a small batch of Lincoln pennies left the mint with a rare die misalignment, creating coins with a subtle but powerful difference that turned them into legends in the world of numismatics. One such penny surfaced at a private collector's auction and sent shockwaves through the coin community. The final bid? $974,000. That's not just a number, it's a testament to the incredible value hidden in everyday objects we take for granted. And here's the thrilling part: experts believe more of these coins are still out there, sitting quietly in dresser drawers, coin jars, or even those old childhood piggy banks. That's right, your forgotten change could be your ticket to wealth. So maybe next time someone tells you, it's just a penny, you can smile and say, maybe. Or maybe it's my early retirement plan. Now that you know what's possible, let's talk about what this means for you. The truth is, the world of rare coins is booming. With collectors, investors, and auction houses hungry for unique finds, demand is skyrocketing, and so are prices. The 1989 no mint mark penny is proof that wealth doesn't always come from hard labor or luck, it comes from awareness. Imagine how it would feel to sell a coin for hundreds of thousands of dollars. The security. The freedom. The ability to finally create the life you've always envisioned, a life of abundance, travel, and time with family, all sparked by a penny. That's not fantasy. It's reality for those who dare to look. But here's the emotional truth: for every person who finds one of these rare coins, thousands let opportunity slip away simply because they never took the time to check. Don't let that be you. So tonight, after watching this video, go through your coins. Pull out your 1989 Lincoln pennies. Look for those tiny signs, off-center strikes, unusual edges, missing details. Even the smallest imperfection could mean a fortune, because hidden wealth doesn't shout. It whispers. And it waits for the person who's ready to listen. And if you've been dreaming of building a wealthy lifestyle, of turning something ordinary into something extraordinary, this is your moment. The coin market is alive, vibrant, and rewarding those who act now. Prices are climbing fast, collectors are competing fiercely, and each day that passes could mean missing your chance at discovering your very own six-figure penny. So, are you going to scroll past this and forget it by dinner? Or are you going to grab a magnifying glass and start your treasure hunt tonight? Because here's the truth: the next $974,000 penny might already be in your pocket. This isn't just a story about a coin, it's a reminder that opportunity often hides in plain sight. Every coin tells a story, and sometimes, that story is worth more than gold. So if you're ready to turn your passion into profit, subscribe now, stay curious, and join a community of people who refuse to settle for ordinary, because wealth doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who notice. Your next fortune could be 1 penny away. Have you ever held a penny in your hand and wondered, what if this little copper coin could change my life forever? Sounds crazy, right? But stay with me, because what I'm about to share with you might just flip your entire perspective on what's hiding inside your pocket change somewhere out there, in the hands of an unsuspecting American, or maybe sitting in an old jar in your kitchen, is a 1997 D Lincoln penny with a minting error so rare, it's now valued at a staggering $953,000 in today's collector's market. Yes, you heard that right, almost $1 million for a coin worth just 1 cent now. Before you think this is just another coin story, let me tell you, this coin isn't just rare, it's historic. It represents a turning point in American minting precision, where one unnoticed mechanical flaw turned an ordinary penny into a piece of numismatic legend. And the best part? You could be holding one right now without even realizing it, but how did a simple 1997 D penny reach such astronomical worth? And more importantly, how can you identify if you have one of these treasures in your own collection? Let's dive in. 1997, the Denver Mint was producing millions of Lincoln cents. Each one, a symbol of hard work, value, and the American dream. But amidst the sea of copper-plated zinc, a few coins slipped through the presses with striking anomalies, minute errors that transformed them from everyday currency into luxury collectibles. One of these errors involved a double die strike, a phenomenon where the design, particularly Lincoln's bust or the date, appears slightly doubled under magnification. Another involved off-center strikes, die cracks, or planchet flaws that gave the coin a unique texture and alignment. To a trained eye, these were not mistakes, they were masterpieces of rarity. Collectors and investors began to take notice. Auctions witnessed bidding wars, experts from the professional coin grading service authenticated these coins, and soon, the 1997 D Lincoln penny became one of the most talked about rarities in modern American coinage. Just imagine the thrill of discovering one. You pick up a handful of old coins, maybe from your grandfather's drawer, and there it is, shining faintly, worn by time, but holding a story worth nearly $1 million. And here's the thing that makes it even more exciting: the demand for these coins is surging right now. Wealthy collectors and museums are on the hunt. High net worth individuals are pouring money into tangible assets, rare coins being one of the hottest markets in 2025. Because while paper money loses value, rarity only appreciates. But let's pause for a second, because I can almost hear your mind racing. You might be thinking, come on, a penny worth nearly $1 million? Isn't that too good to be true? Well, that's exactly what most people thought too, until one sold at auction for nearly the price of a luxury home in California. And here's the humorous truth: somewhere out there, someone used a 1997 D-era penny to pay for a coffee 20 years ago, and now, that same coin could buy them a coffee plantation. Now that you know the hidden potential behind this tiny coin, the real question is, what will you do about it? Most people let opportunity slip right through their fingers because they don't look closely enough. But the most successful people, the ones living that wealthy, free lifestyle, don't just hope for luck. They recognize value before the world does. So here's your moment. Go grab your coin jar, your old piggy bank, that drawer filled with forgotten change. Examine your pennies, especially those minted in Denver in 1997. Look for doubling on the date, any misalignment, or unusual surface marks. Even a small error could mean a massive payout, and if you do find one, don't rush to sell it to the first bidder. Get it graded by the PCGS or NGC, verify its authenticity, and watch how collectors start competing to own it. Because make no mistake, this is not just a penny. It's a financial gateway. The market for rare coins has never been more vibrant. As the dollar fluctuates, as inflation rises, investors are moving toward hard assets, gold, silver, and yes, rare coins like the 1997 D Lincoln penny. There's a growing urgency among collectors to secure these historical pieces before they vanish into private collections forever. So ask yourself, what if your path to wealth is already in your hands? What if that dusty coin you've overlooked for decades could unlock a future of abundance? Don't wait. Check your coins today. Because every second you delay, someone else could be finding your fortune. Remember, wealth doesn't come to those who wish. It comes to those who act, and who knows? The next story of $1 million penny could be yours. If this story inspired you, imagine what other treasures could be hiding right under your nose. Subscribe to this channel and join thousands of Americans discovering financial freedom through rare coins. Because the next great coin story could begin with you, and as I always say, don't just dream of wealth. Hold it in your hand. Imagine this: you reach into your pocket, grab a handful of change, and there it is, a simple, shiny penny. Ordinary, right? But what if I told you that this 1-cent coin could actually be worth nearly $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. A 2017 D Lincoln penny, minted in Denver, has been valued at a jaw-dropping $966,000 because of a rare minting error that most people would never notice. Now, before you think this is just another lucky find story, let's get something straight: this isn't luck. It's awareness. It's about knowing what to look for, recognizing hidden value, and being part of a growing movement of people turning their everyday coins into extraordinary fortunes. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, when was the last time you really looked at your pennies? Most people don't. But those who do, they're discovering wealth hiding in plain sight. And here's the twist: this particular 2017 D penny, the one making headlines among serious collectors and coin dealers, isn't just rare. It's a perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and demand. Let's rewind to 2017. The U.S. Mint in Denver was running full throttle. Billions of Lincoln cents were struck, most destined for grocery store tills and pocket change across America. But in that massive sea of copper-plated zinc, something unusual happened. A batch of coins left the press with an error, a subtle but significant die clash, off-center strike, or even a double die feature that made it a true collector's gem. Only a handful of people ever spotted it. And those who did, well, their lives changed. Imagine walking into a coin shop with a penny and walking out with enough to buy a luxury car, or even pay off your mortgage. That's the power of knowledge. Now, here's where it gets emotional. For decades, people have tossed aside pennies, calling them useless, worthless, even a nuisance. But every time someone ignored them, they unknowingly let go of potential history and wealth. It's almost poetic, isn't it? The smallest coin in American currency, the one we overlook, turns out to hold some of the biggest financial surprises. And the 2017 D Lincoln penny isn't just a story of error, it's a story of opportunity. Because while others are waiting for the next big thing, the savvy collectors, people like you, are quietly turning small discoveries into serious assets. And now, let's inject a little humor to keep your brain awake. Remember when your grandma told you to save every penny? Turns out, she was absolutely right. You might owe her a big thank you if you find one of these. So, what makes this coin so special? The answer lies in its unique error pattern, visible under magnification, showing subtle doubling on Lincoln's eye, the lettering, or even the date. Collectors and grading experts have verified that genuine error specimens command extraordinary premiums, and the demand for 2017 D varieties is skyrocketing right now. This particular coin's market value stands at around $966,000. Depending on condition, certification, and provenance. But here's the real kicker: the market for high-grade Lincoln pennies has been heating up for the last 5 years, and it shows no sign of cooling down. If you've ever dreamed of financial freedom, this is the moment to act. Check your coin jars, your glove compartments, that old coffee tin full of change you've been ignoring for years. Because hidden among those coins might be your ticket to a completely new life. And here's something that most people don't realize: these coins don't stay hidden forever. Collectors are hunting them, auctions are rising, and each discovery makes the next one even rarer. That means the window to cash in is closing fast. Don't let the opportunity slip by. Think about it: while others scroll through social media or complain about the economy, you could be quietly holding a near $1 million penny right in your hand. And before we close, let's circle back to where we started. That moment when you reached into your pocket for some loose change, it wasn't just a routine act. It was a reminder that wealth often hides where you least expect it. You just need the vision to see it. So, the next time you spot a 2017 D Lincoln penny, pause for a second. Look closer. Because behind that small copper shimmer could lie a story of fortune, transformation, and triumph. This is more than a coin, it's a symbol of what's possible when you pay attention to the details. Stay inspired, stay curious, and remember, every great fortune begins with a small discovery. If you found this story inspiring, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications, because in the next video, we'll uncover another ordinary coin hiding an extraordinary secret. Who knows, your next penny could be worth a fortune. After all, in the world of rare coins, every cent counts, and sometimes, every cent changes everything.